Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to understand how to select the bearing from using PhD data handbook. So here we have the first step. We have to write or we have to calculate our radial load and axial load. Radial load, which is Fr, and axial load, which is FA, which is denoted as FA. Then we have to write or we have to calculate or determine our shaft diameter where our bearing is to be fitted. Okay, this is the first step for bearing selection. Then second step, here in a second step we have to select the bearing depend upon the given application. So it is given in PSG 4.1, different applications are given, and according to that we have to select one bearing. Then third step, determine the value of x and y. Here x is radial factor and y is axial factor, which is given in PSG 4.4. So x and y's for DGBB, it depends on the ratio of FA by FR and FA by CO. For other all the bearing, it depend on FA by FR only. Next, the selection of bearing on trial and error basis. So for that, next step, which is fourth step, will take static and dynamic load capacity of single row deep groove ball bearing. So different series are there, and that which is mentioned in PSG 4.12 to 4.15. In these pages, these series are mentioned, which is 61, 60, 61, 62, 64. Suppose say our bearings are, our diameter is mentioned 10 mm. For that we will go for 6000, or first of all we have to understand the CO. For that 600 or 6200, 6300 for this 10 mm. In 64 series we will get the higher values, that is 15 mm and more, 17 mm and more. So that we will get. Also we have to select depending upon x and y factors. Next step is to calculate equivalent dynamic load from using equation P is equals to x into V into Fr plus y into Fa into service factor, which is given in PSG 4.2. So here capital V indicates the speed, which is a inner race or outer race. For the inner race, the V is 1 for inner race and V is 1.2 for outer race. Suppose outer race in rotation, then it is 1.2. Suppose inner race in rotation, then it is 1. Then sixth step, to make a decision of expected life by using equation LMR, which is equals to LH into 60 into N divided by 10 raised to 6. Here LH stands for life in hours, LMR which is life in million revolution. Then seventh step, here we are going to express our life L as L dash 10 in million revolution with probability of 90% of survival. 90% of probability survival. Next, determine the required capacity of bearing C from PSG 4.2. C is equals to L dash by 10 by L10 raised to 1 by K. L10 is 1 million revolution, so C is written as P into L dash 10 raised to 1 by K. Here K is 3 for ball bearing and K is 10 by 3 for roller bearing. Next, ninth step, correct the capacity, or we are going to reduce the required capacity. We are going to increase by adding temperature factor, which is given in PSG 4.2. Suppose the temperature is a parameter, then only we are going to use it if required. Then last step, check whether the selected bearing or selected series has required corrected dynamic capacity or not. If it is having the required dynamic capacity, then this our selection is okay. Suppose it is not matching, then we have to go for, suppose the dynamic capacity required is higher, then we have to go for the higher series. Suppose we have selected 6.0, then we have to go for 6.2. Suppose we have selected 6.1 or 6.2, then we have to go for 6.3 likewise. Then we have to continue from the step 2. Once we select that bearing, we have to continue from step 2. So here I'll explain the steps one by one. So first is we have to write radial and axial load, then shaft diameter, then we have to select the bearing, which bearing we have to go for, whether DGBB or roller or angular contact, that we have to select. Then next we have to gather the x and y values, which is radial factor and axial factor, which is depending on the ratios of FA by FR. We have to select x and y. Then the selection of bearing, which is on trial and error basis. Then in that, which bearing we have to select or series we have to select, that we will select using dynamic capacity and XY factors. Then we have to calculate equivalent load using the equation. Then we have to make the decision for life of bearing in million revolution. Then this we have to represent as 90% of probability of survival. Then we have to calculate required capacity of bearing C, required dynamic capacity, which is using the equation which is in 4.2. okay, then so we will calculate required dynamic capacity. Then whatever the dynamic capacity is there, that dynamic capacity we will increase by using temperature factor. Then we will check whether our selected bearing has required dynamic capacity or not. If it is having, selection process is over. Otherwise we have to go for higher series and calculate from step 2. Thank you for watching. If you have any doubts, comment. Thank you.